Hey, I'm Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Thanks for joining me for today's top 5 decluttering mistakes. Now, I'm hoping this video is good timing with the new year here. It's 2022. A lot of people are setting organizing and decluttering goals. So this video will hopefully prevent you from making some mistakes as you fulfill those goals and resolutions, as well as hopefully helping you if you've been struggling with decluttering for a while now. The first thing that I wanted to talk about, the first mistake that I see a lot of people making as they jump into decluttering, is starting without a plan. Now, there can be a few different repercussions to jumping into decluttering without a plan. And I think the biggest one, no matter how big or small your decluttering project is that if you don't have a plan, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. You're more likely to not complete that actual project and not see it all the way through because you haven't thought through how much time it's going to take you, how much energy, how you're going to fit it into your schedule, different plans and strategies to actually implement and use as you're going through the decluttering process. Some areas of your house that you might have on your list as a place that you want to declutter can take a lot of mental energy. And I know that's weird to think about it that way, but a lot of times there are blocks that we encounter as we declutter because there are emotional things that come up, sentimental items that we find, things that make us really face different issues that we've maybe been putting off. So not thinking those things through and not thinking through your timeline are really going to be things that hold you back from completing that project that you set yourself up for. So if you are somebody that has just a smaller goal, maybe there's a certain room or a certain category of items like your clothing that you want to declutter, do a little bit of research first, use some free resources out there. Maybe I have a YouTube video that I've already made on one of those topics, or some free resources online to help you kind of think through those things ahead of time, different strategies that you can use as you're decluttering that area. But if you have a larger goal of maybe decluttering your entire home in 2022, I actually am doing the Sophisticated Declutter again this year in 2022. I ran the 6-month Sophisticated Declutter Challenge in 2020 for the first time in 2021, and now this year will be the 3rd time that I am doing it. So if you are interested in doing your entire house in 6 months, then make sure you follow along both here on YouTube and on Instagram. I also have a ebook that you can download and follow along room by room. Even if you're not going to do it in 6 months, it's set up to either follow the 6-month declutter or to do it in your own pace. So I will link all of that stuff in the description box below, but it's kind of like a great way that I can hold your hand and walk you through decluttering all of those spaces, keep you on a timeline, really give you that plan so you don't have to think of it yourself, and share some videos and photos as well as tips and tricks, motivation, inspiration, all the things. So setting yourself up with a plan, whether it's a big one or a small one, will really ensure that you are going to finish that decluttering that you set out to do. The next mistake is going at this completely alone. Now, if you do actually live alone, this might be a little bit different, but I even think if you live alone, it can be fun and helpful to bring a friend in for certain areas. I have had a friend come join me as I've gone through and decluttered my closet and some of my accessories, and found it extremely beneficial just to have a second opinion. I sometimes will ask Jim for help as I'm decluttering my closet, and he doesn't have a ton of women's fashion advice to give me, so bringing in a girlfriend is sometimes even better than having my spouse help me out. So if you do live alone, you still don't have to necessarily do this whole process alone. But this tip is more so for people who do have a shared living space with other family members and other people who use the same space. And the big thing here is to not try and declutter spaces for someone else. So if there is a dedicated space for somebody else, say your husband's closet, it would not be a good idea for you to go and declutter your husband's closet without him being there. Number one, that is most likely going to end up in an argument. I don't know your relationship, but if somebody came in and organized and decluttered my closet for me without me being there, I would probably be a little bit upset. But the other thing is that they need to have a stake in this process too. It's their stuff. You can be there to help them and to help guide them. If you are somebody that feels like you're really good at decluttering and can help guide them, I would do it together. If it is a shared space, so maybe like a living room or a kitchen or anything else like that, it is vital to have everyone in the house who's involved in that area involved in the process of decluttering. It's not just about you. It's not a one-woman show. So you need to get involved, all of the people who share that space. Mistake number 3 is a big one, and that's having the wrong mentality. So what does that mean, having the wrong mentality? To me, that means thinking through the process incorrectly. There are so many different strategies when it comes to decluttering, and I don't like saying that there's a wrong way to go about it, but there are some ways that I do think are better than others, and having certain mentalities can really hold us back. So some of those that I think are probably the wrong way to think about things is thinking about how much money you spent on an item and having that be the sole reason that you choose not to declutter it. So if I am going through my closet again, we'll use that as an example, and I have a really expensive dress and I know I don't wear the dress, I know it doesn't look good on me, I know I don't like it, I know I'm not going to wear it, all of those signs are pointing to I should declutter this dress. I'm not gonna wear it, I don't need it, I don't like it, etc. But maybe I wanna hold on to it because I know it was a really expensive dress. Maybe it still has the tags on it, maybe I've never worn it, but that should not be the reason that I hold on to that article of clothing or whatever item it is in your house. Think about the fact that it was a waste when you bought it. It's not a waste getting rid of it. It's not a waste of money by donating it. It's already a waste of money when you purchased it and you're not wearing it. Now, if it is something that is worth a lot of money, maybe it does still have the tags on it, you could try and resell that item and even get some money back for it. So it would be actually a waste continuing to sit in your closet. And if you try and resell it, you might actually get some money. So don't let the fact that you spent a lot of money or something was expensive be the one and only reason that you hold on to it. Another wrong mentality that I think a lot of people have are guilt related, especially when it comes to sentimental items and gifts. Oftentimes I see people wanting to hold on to things just because, oh, so-and-so gave it to me as a gift and I feel bad. They took the time to think about me. It was a wedding present maybe, or especially when we think about sentimental items, which are extremely difficult to declutter. I will give everyone that. It is hard to go through sentimental items, especially those of a loved one who's passed away. But you don't, again, want those single reasons of somebody gave it to me as a gift or it just belonged to that person who's passed away to be the reason that you hold on to something that you otherwise wouldn't. When I think about sentimental items, if there is a connection and it sparks a feeling in you and it really does have like a memory attached to it and it brings you joy to look at it, especially if it's something that you use, those are great reasons to hold on to something. But if you don't even remember that person using the item, you just know that it was theirs and you're holding on to it because they passed away and you feel weird about getting rid of it, this is me giving you permission to just let those things go. Not that you need my permission to do that, but those singular reasons that we focus on not getting rid of things, really think about what those are and if it's serving you in any way or if it's more so guilt related. Because even the money thing is guilt related in my mind. I feel guilty about spending this money and not using the item, therefore I'm gonna hold on to it. Don't let that be the mentality that you have as you're going through and decluttering. This next one is an easy mistake to make, but it's not following through with your decisions. So as I'm decluttering, I like to have a keep pile, a donate pile, a resell pile, a recycle pile, a trash pile, all of these different piles. And you feel so accomplished when you finish going through an area or a category and you get everything sorted in its proper category. You know what you're gonna keep, you know what you're gonna get rid of. The next step is critical. You need to get those things that are supposed to be leaving your house out of your house. So whether it's trash or recycling, get those things out. But even more important, I think, is getting rid of those items that you want to resell or donate. Oftentimes, if we leave them in our house, we're more likely to double think about those decisions that we've made and maybe go back and sneak into that bag or that bin and grab that one item that we kind of hesitated about, even though we made the decision to get rid of it, and go back and grab it and let it back into our house. So the longer it stays in your house, the more likely it is to go back into that collection, back into that category, and you don't actually follow through with the decision that you made. So make the decision and take care of it as quickly as possible. Finally, the last mistake is forgetting about maintenance. I say this all the time when it comes to organizing and decluttering. It's not a one-time thing. This process is always ongoing. We're always bringing more items into our home, and that means we always need to be editing the amount of things that we have in our house. If we just continue to bring in more and more and more and more and never declutter, you're just going to continue to increase the problem. So going through and doing a huge declutter of your entire house is great. I completely encourage that. I like doing that. I hope you join me for the 6-month declutter and do it with me this year. But if you just do it once, you're gonna have another problem next year or the year after that or the year after that, because things will just continue to accumulate. So knowing that as you enter this decluttering, again, whether it's a big project or a small project, knowing that you're not done after you think you're done is gonna be really important. And going back to the first mistake that a lot of people make is not having a plan. Have that plan of how you're going to continue to maintain the space that you have now freshly decluttered. So if you want to do the 6-month declutter again and again and again, it's a great thing to do at the beginning of every year. It will actually reduce the amount of time that you have to spend in each room once you've done it and done it right. Then each year it becomes a maintenance as opposed to a huge overhaul. So don't think that you're gonna have to redo every space completely. It's gonna be more of a maintenance thing and not as big of an overhaul the second, third, fourth, fifth time that you do this. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you found some tips that will be useful as you enter into the new year and follow through with some of your organizing and decluttering goals and resolutions. So if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, again, especially if you're interested in that 6-month declutter. And until next time, I will see you guys later.